What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel and to a brand new video on the channel that is Chelsea versus Arsenal match preview / predictions video. But before we get into the video itself, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel with your notifications on to never miss any uploads when they go live. And yeah, go check out my other socials as well, links will be in the description box down below. So I can't be the only person who's actually really excited about this match. You know, with the pre-season game against Arsenal, it favoured Chelsea. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, it is a pre-season game, so it doesn't really tell you too much. Especially when you take into account the fact that Arsenal tend to turn up against some of the bigger sides, and often in most recent years, they have become a bit of a bogey team for Chelsea. Plus, it never really helps that this time it is at the Emirates, which is never really a benefit for us. But with all that being said, what are we actually saying about this game? Tuchel said in a post-match interview that Lukaku will get some game time against Arsenal in the London derby. But does that mean he's starting? Or does it mean that maybe he comes off the bench for a few minutes, you know, just to get a bit of a warm-up ahead of the next game? We'll have to wait and see. And of course we know that he wasn't playing against Crystal Palace, but most of you will know and be pretty clued up that that's just because of the whole moving from one country to another and having to self-isolate for a certain amount of time afterwards. But we all know now on social media and that it's been announced, the fact that he's there, been you know, in the photo shoot, he's at Stamford Bridge, going through all the locker rooms and you know, reminiscing and whatnot. And it's all on the Chelsea app. If any one of you is interested, I'll leave a link to the actual app itself or the website in the description box down below. But all in all, it is a pretty romantic football story in itself. But ultimately, I just want to see him in the Chelsea kit once again, and I just I hope that he actually does perform well for us. And of course, again, if you were keeping up to date, you know that the Arsenal team, if you was to believe the rumours at least, had a near COVID scare ahead of the Brentford game, and that could be one of maybe a couple of reasons why the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette didn't feature and might not feature in this next game as well against Chelsea. But following on from the previous games, of course, Chelsea absolutely levered Crystal Palace 3-0. It should have been more, it definitely could have been. And we saw goals from the likes of Marcos Alonso, a beauty free kick, top right. We saw a beautiful bit of link up from Mount and Aspie for the majority of the game. Crosses it in, and with a bobble or two, Pulisic's able to tap it in to make it 2. And then finally, and last but not least, it is Trevor Chalobah's first goal in the Prem. What a dream start it was. What a dream debut, keeping a clean sheet in a 3-0 win, and he contributed with an absolute worldie of a goal. But then if you look on Arsenal's side of it, they actually fell twice to Brentford. Of course, it ended up 2-0 to Brentford. And Arsenal went from top of the league right down to the bottom, which is pretty funny, and only really Arsenal could do that. And obviously when you take both of the recent games into account and the form with pretty much every competition up until now, it really does favour Chelsea once again. But as you can see on the bottom corners, the form in the Premier League maybe fares well for Arsenal, but again, if you actually deep it, Arsenal are on worse form. It's pretty obvious, and like I said, the fact that they don't have two of their front men, it's not ideal for them. And I believe that Partey and the likes also aren't available, like Gabriel as well, so they don't have a lot of their first team available, on top of being on pretty poor form. But again, like I said, it's Arsenal, anything could happen. But ultimately, guys, Arsenal are in turmoil and we're super European champions. I can only really see it going one way, if I'm honest. We even managed to organise a closed friendly behind doors, whatever, against Weymouth, and we put 13 past them in a 13-0 game, which is pretty hilarious. Batshuayi, on probably his last appearance for the club, you know, before going to Besiktas, managed to score 5 goals. It's just pretty funny. It was to get some of the players from the first team that didn't get minutes in the previous games, just to warm them up, and then maybe some loan army sort of players as well, just to fill in the gaps. But in all seriousness, I'm so excited to see this game, and I'm really hoping for a good game, and hopefully the 3 points in the bag once again. That'll put us up to 6 points, hopefully not conceding a goal. And so my prediction is 3-0 to Chelsea. And you know, what a fun time it is being a Chelsea fan at the moment, and I'm hoping that we can sort of carry on with that joy, so to speak. Moving with that, on a more personal note, at least to do with my channel and whatnot, I will have a post-match video up and ready for you after the game, if all goes to plan, that is. It'll basically just be an analysis / breakdown video, and giving a little insight to, you know, my opinion on the game, and then a sort of lead up towards the next couple games for Chelsea, so stay tuned for that. But that's it really for this video. You've been able to see my predictions predictions for the actual game itself, my opinions on you know, the trajectory of both clubs to meeting to this point. As you can see, we've got where it'll be aired, where you know, it'll be taking place and at what time, and then obviously the form of the teams, and like I said, my prediction. But that's it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to slap a like on the video, and like I said at the start of the video, do subscribe because it does help me out a lot, and you'll see more content similar to this as well, especially if you're a Chelsea fan. You'll be loving life. You can use a bit of that gratitude to essentially just help me out. And yeah, this was my preview / predictions video ahead of the Chelsea versus Arsenal Game Week 2 match in the Premier League. As ever, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in my next. Peace.